My parents weren't fluent in English, so in school, I had to be independent and take initiative. And that's how I handle every project I get.
Hey, Kevin, you thinking about retirement?
I'd love to, but I'm pretty busy with all this.
Yeah. Hey, let's meet our retirement coach, Avo. A is for taking action.
Not anxiety?
No, Kevin, you're gonna be fine.
You sing?
Barely. V is for variety.
And you dance?
Sort of. Come on. O is for optimize your savings.
Let Avo lead the way.
Visit aceyourretirement.org today.
Nice.
Thanks.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Never gonna let you go. Never.
And welcome back to Sports Night in Auburn.
What a week it's been in the world of sports, not just here on the Plains, but across the globe. So Lydia, I gotta ask, what's been your favorite moment from this past week?
I've got to say Team USA's men's hockey winning gold Sunday morning. I mean, it was awesome. Their first Olympic gold since Miracle on Ice in 1980, and an overtime thriller, players losing teeth, pure heart on the ice, and honoring their late teammate Johnny Gaudreau afterward. It was emotional, it was gritty, and it was a special moment for U.S. hockey.
I'd have to agree. And I think all of America felt especially patriotic after the weekend of closing ceremonies. Welcome back to Sports Night in Auburn. I'm Logan Carr.
And I'm Lydia Wellborn, and we are so happy to be back with you guys.
Let's jump into all things Auburn. Our men's basketball team visited the Mississippi State Bulldogs last Wednesday and unfortunately fell short despite outscoring the Bulldogs in the second half 52-42.
Keyshawn Hall dominated the floor, dropping 29 points and pulling down 10 rebounds for his 7th double-double this year. Auburn held strong up until the last few minutes, but they couldn't complete the comeback and ultimately lost 91-85.
Eagle Eye's own Campbell Perry has more from Starkville. Let's take a look.
Good evening from Starkville, Mississippi, where the Auburn Tigers battled the Mississippi State Bulldogs in a key SEC matchup. Auburn got a big night from Keyshawn Hall, but faced a tough road test here in Humphrey Coliseum.
Auburn played hard on the road tonight in Starkville, dropping 85 points in an all-out physical battle with the Mississippi State Bulldogs. The Tigers came ready to play, giving spirited performances across the lineup. Keyshawn Hall led the way for Auburn, pouring in 29 points and knocking down 4 threes to keep the Tigers within striking distance late in the game. Pettiford chipped in with 21 points and Overton added a noticeable 15. But standing in Auburn's way was a historic night from Mississippi State's Josh Hubbard, who erupted for 46 points and made 10 threes, giving the home crowd everything that they asked for. Auburn's shooters were hot and the effort was relentless, but Hubbard's scoring outburst proved just enough for the Bulldogs. In a back-and-forth battle, the Tigers fell short 91-85.
Final tonight from Starkville, Mississippi State defends its home floor 91-85. The Tigers fought behind an impressive 29-point performance by Hall, but Mississippi State made the plays late to secure the 6-point win. Auburn now turns its focus to the next stop in SEC play as the regular season pushes toward March. That's all for Eagle Eye. I'm Campbell Perry.
Saturday night, back inside Neville Arena, we saw an absolute thriller. Our Tigers hosted the Kentucky Wildcats in the AUT Live Cancer game and did not disappoint. The guys stormed back in the second half, led by scoring leader Keyshawn Murphy, who finished with 25 points on the night.
And it all came down to the final moments. With just 15 seconds left, the Tigers trailed by 3. Jahad Pettiford knocked down clutch free throws to cut the deficit to 1.
And after a Kentucky foul, Auburn got one last chance with 10 seconds on the clock.
A missed layup, a missed putback, but third time was the charm. Elijah Freeman cleaned it up and scored the game winner.
Auburn took down Kentucky 75-74 in electric Neville Arena fashion. Absolutely the bounce back that Stephen Pearl and his guys needed.
What a game by our Tigers. Eagle Eyes Madison Seidel was there to capture all the action.
The Auburn Tigers hosted the Kentucky Wildcats at home. It was a chippy and close game, where Auburn was able to finish 75-74.
It was the annual Outlive game in Neville Arena. The visiting Kentucky Wildcats lined up against the Auburn Tigers, and the game started off aggressive and fast right off the bat. Auburn was looking to snap their 5-game losing streak, while Kentucky was hoping to bounce back on the road. The Tigers were able to get a couple early steals in the game to give them some defensive momentum. There was a couple big shots, especially from players like Kevin Overton, that helped them build their lead early on. We also can't forget about Keyshawn Murphy, who put up 25 points and 10 rebounds for the night. He also put on quite a slam fest. But it wasn't all orange and blue. The Kentucky Wildcats were able to put up a handful of points in the paint, leading 39-35 at the half. Coming out of halftime, Auburn started to slow down, but both teams kept fighting for their lead in the second half. At the end, a crucial tip-in from Elijah Freeman at the buzzer gave Auburn the win they desperately needed and gave hope for the games ahead. After the buzzer, there was a familiar face in the crowd. Former head coach Bruce Pearl was in attendance for the contest. Following the game, Kentucky head coach Mark Pope spoke with the media and had this to say about the outcome.
Well, we refuse to give control to people that are outside of our program. Refuse. Regardless of how personal it might get or how bad it might get, we refuse to give control to fans, to give control to anybody else associated with this game. Regardless of how blatantly people are trying to make this not happen, we refuse to give them their power. That's what I talk about.
Auburn will look ahead to face Oklahoma on Tuesday. Tip-off is scheduled for 8 p.m. For Eagle Eye TV, my name is Madison Seidel.
Tonight, we turn our attention to another SEC foe. The Tigers are currently gearing up in Norman to take on the Oklahoma Sooners.
When this episode is over, hop on over to ESPNU for an 8 p.m. tip-off that you won't want to miss.
Coming up next, Hayden joins us in the studio to provide a national sports update that you'll definitely want to catch. Don't go anywhere.
There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children, she didn't know what to do. She gave them some broth without any bread and kissed them all soundly.
Lights out. Good night.
And put them to bed. Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org.
I was living in a shelter juggling 3 jobs. I had to be resilient. That's something that you can't teach.
You can achieve a lot using your imagination. I mean, I don't like to brag, but... Wait, who's that? And why is she all over these achievement awards? But with STEM, the sky's the limit. Shaboom! Use STEM to envision. Okay, I'm seeing it. Yeah. Invent.
Got any ideas?
I've got a few, actually. And create a better world. Told you she's super smart. If she can STEM, so can you. Find out more at She Can STEM.
Welcome back. My name is Hayden Seabury, and I have some exciting news for you. We are starting a new segment where we give you a national sports update. I know you're used to our usual Auburn sports coverage, but it's always good to know what is happening for sports in the USA. First, let's take it over to the rings, more specifically the Olympic rings. Following a devastating crash during her first run, Lindsey Vonn suffered a leg injury. She recently posted on social media that she had to undergo surgery for her accident. She went so far as to say the procedure actually may have saved her leg from being amputated. We are wishing her a healthy recovery. In other IC news, the IHF plans to continue the 3-on-3 overtime rules for Olympic hockey. Even with the recent backlash, the Winter Games, this was following the 2 recent overtime games for the gold medal in both men's and women's hockey. And other news that hits a little close to Sweet Home Alabama. Retired quarterback Phillip Rivers recently committed to NC State, which is Rivers' alma mater. Gunnar Rivers is a 4-star quarterback at St. Michael's Catholic in Fairhope, Alabama. He threw for 2,813 yards, 44 touchdowns, and led his high school to the state title game. His NFL father coached his high school team before he made his return back to the pros in 2025. Now, that's all the time I have left with you today, but stick with us. We come back for more from the break. The desk has some updates that, let's just say, will be home runs out of this park.
Yeah! Sam, Elmo! Oh, hey, Julia! Are you ready to play band with us? I'm gonna play my clarinet.
And Elmo's gonna play his drum.
Drum loud. Oh, well, you know what to do, Julia.
Julia knows.
Mm-hmm. With Julia's autism, loud sounds can be too much.
But she still loves to make music. Play band.
Early screening for autism can make a lifetime of difference. Find out more at screenforautism.org.
Put the keys down, Kevin.
But I'm gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
My text to emoji ratio has gotten a little out of hand.
A little?
Yep, I'm definitely gonna call a ride home.
Yo, Scott.
Hey.
I'm heading out, man. You want to ride?
No, I got my car, but I actually really need to go to the bathroom.
Oh, you know what? I was just in there. The line is like 10 people long.
You know, I think I'll just...
Dude, are you okay?
You wouldn't believe what I was just thinking. I am definitely buzzed.
Yeah.
I think I will take this, and I will take that ride home.
Smart man.
Did you see how the dog was looking at?
Time to swing things over to baseball. The number 5 Auburn Tigers suffered a tough midweek loss last Tuesday, falling to the Cincinnati Bearcats.
Despite solid performances at the plate from Bub Terrell, who went 2 for 4, and Chase Fralick, who finished 2 for 3, the Tigers just couldn't generate enough offense.
Auburn managed only 5 hits on the night and struggled to string together any consistent scoring threats.
The Bearcats kept the Tigers off balance from start to finish, fresh off of opening weekend, handing Auburn the 8-0 shutout.
In hopes of getting back in the groove, the Tigers hit the road last weekend, heading west to Arlington, Texas for the Amagi Bank College Series.
Auburn opened the weekend last Friday against Kansas State, and it was a whole different story.
Jake Marciano set the tone on the mound, tossing 6 scoreless innings and keeping the Wildcats quiet all night long.
With strong pitching and timely hitting, the Tigers rolled to a 5-1 win over Kansas State to start the series on top.
The Tigers kept it rolling in Arlington with another big win, this time over number 9 Florida State.
Auburn fell behind early, but the response was impressive. The Tigers rallied for 7 unanswered runs to take control of the game.
Bristol Carter and Brandon McCrane led the charge at the plate, combining for 6 of Auburn's 11 hits on the night.
When it was all said and done, the Tigers walked away with an 8-5 win over the Seminoles. The Tigers closed out the weekend Sunday with a matchup against number 15 Louisville.
And Auburn's offense showed up. The Tigers racked up 10 runs on 13 hits, putting pressure on the Cardinals from the start.
Meanwhile, the Auburn pitching staff was just as impressive, combining for 13 strikeouts on the day.
When the final out was recorded, the Tigers secured a 10-5 win to close out a strong weekend in Arlington.
Safe to say, Arlington was good to the Tigers, Week 2 champs of the Amagi Bank College Baseball Series.
With the big weekend came big results for a certain new boy.
That's right, Ethan Bigeman was named SEC Freshman of the Week after leading the Tigers with a .625 average and 7 on-base average in Texas.
Bigeman was dynamic on both sides of the ball and received well-deserved honors.
Up next, the Tigers return home tomorrow to Plainsman Park to take on the University of West Georgia Wolves.
It should be a great opportunity for Auburn to settle back in after a big weekend in Arlington.
First pitch is one you'll want to keep an eye on. Now, let's send it over to Kevin. I hear you got an update from the pool.
Yes, I do. The Auburn Tigers put in a strong 6-day effort to stay afloat at the SEC Swim and Dive Championships this weekend in Knoxville. The men placed 5th with 652 points, while the women shredded to a 7th place finish with 654.5 points. Zoe Zeller clocked a 159.01 200 meter to put herself in the B final. Zeller made waves in that race, clocking a personal best 158.55, propelling her to an 11th place finish. Senior Danny Schmidt found a spot in the B final where he improved by 1.5 seconds and rode to a 12th place finish. Coming off a bronze medal in the free, Lisa Klenvanovic splashed her way to a final of the 100 meter, where she would place 7th with a score of 48.17. Auburn Swim and Dive will dive right back into the water this weekend in their home pool versus a last chance invite opponent at the James E. Martin Aquatic Center. The meet will take place on Friday the 27th and Saturday the 28th. The time is to be announced. Auburn men's tennis surely made a racket this weekend at their home doubleheader as the Tigers roared to a statement sweep with a 6-1 win over number 15 Florida and served a 7-0 shutout to the Citadel at Yarborough Tennis Center. The duo of Billy and Freddie Blades brought some brotherly love to the court as the two clinched a clutch doubles point. The Tigers continued to impress in singles play with standout performances from Hamza Nazdarinov, Nicholas Heng, and Manuel Lazaro helping to secure the upset victory. Auburn rode the momentum into the night, shutting out the Citadel in very convincing fashion. The pair of victories improved Auburn to 9-1 overall and 1-0 in SEC play. The Tigers will travel to Tennessee on Friday to face the Vols. Well, let's swap those tennis shoes before we take off on the track. The Auburn track and field team is gearing up for some big moments themselves. The SEC Indoor Track Championships are firing off this Thursday at Bryan College Station, Texas. The Auburn Sprint Group has been a strength all season, consistently posting qualifying numbers in the 60 and 200 meter, while the relay squad's feet stay flying with some serious momentum. The Auburn throwing squad will look to turn some strong marks from the season into podium finishes as well. Times for the events vary, but the meets begin at 11:30 a.m., 2 p.m., 3:55 p.m., and 4:30 p.m. Now on to the green. The Auburn's men's golf team is teed up for the Southern Highlands Collegiate in Las Vegas, Nevada this weekend in an early spring test for the Tigers. Clubbing in Vegas sounds more fun than usual, as the team is riding some serious momentum after Jackson Coven captured back-to-back SEC Golfer of the Week honors en route to becoming the program's all-time wins leader with 7 career victories. The Southern Highlands Collegiate features a competitive field and a challenging desert layout. What happened in Vegas last year, an event win for the Tigers, hopefully stays in Vegas this time around. Now that's all I have for right now, but I think it's time for some trivia.
Yes, Kevin, you're right about that. Before we head to break, we wanted to tee up a trivia question for you. How many times has Jackson Coven won SEC Golfer of the Week? Is it A, 8, B, 9, C, 10, or D, 11?
We'll have the answer for you when we come back, along with the beginning of our Women's Watch. Stick around for more.
Touchdown! Did you see that? Whoa, we scored? Yeah, we scored. We're going to the playoffs. I can't believe I missed that. Every time I'm buzzed, I spend too much time on my phone. I should take your phone away. No. I'll call for a ride. Wait, why does my face look like that?
When I was growing up, my mom was extremely tidy. We were trained to put things back where we got them from. One day, when I walked into my mom's house, I felt like I walked to someone else's house. There was stuff everywhere. And just growing up the way I grew up and to see this transition was very alarming.
When Sean talked to me, it was a wake-up call, and that's when I went to the doctor.
Put the keys down, Kevin.
But I'm gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
I've taken 25 selfies in the last 10 minutes.
26.
Yep, I'm definitely gonna call a ride home.
Welcome back. Before the break, we asked you a golf trivia question. How many times has Jackson Coven been named SEC Golfer of the Week? Is it A, 8, B, 9, C, 10, or D, 11? The answer is D, 11 times. An incredible run for the amateur standout. And if his play continues like this, that number will not be growing anytime soon.
Now flipping on over to the gym, let's shift gears to Friday night action inside Neville Arena.
The Auburn gymnastics team hosted the Iron Bowl on the floor, taking on Alabama in one of the biggest meets of the season.
The Tigers put up a season-high 197.250, a strong performance across the board.
But it wasn't enough. The Crimson Tide outscored Auburn 197.950 to 197.250, handing the Tigers their first Iron Bowl loss since 2018.
Eagle Eye's own Sophia Weber was on the floor and has more from the meet.
What's more dangerous, an Auburn team searching for a comeback win or an Alabama team seeking redemption after last season's in-state matchup? We'll just have to see because this one has it all. Alabama came in as the favorites and claimed Neville Arena's attention from the very beginning. In response, Julianne Hough kick-started the Tigers' night with a 9.9 on vault. Chloe LaCoursiere's 9.95 bar routine would be the first mark in separating the Tide. As the teams swap places, Auburn strives to match Alabama on bars. With Alex Irvine's 9.925, Auburn scores their season-high bar rotation. On the flip side, vault would be Alabama's lowest scoring apparatus. Olivia Ahern showed up big for rivalry week, breaking into the 9.9 range.
My goal has been to get a 9.9, and so every time I go up on the beam, I'm like, this is going to be the one, this is going to be the one, and I keep trying. And also it's Bama, so I just really wanted to do that to them.
Her effort wouldn't be enough alongside other shaky performances on the beam, and with Auburn forced to stare at the Crimson Tide on floor. Gabby Gladell rounded out Alabama's performances on the floor, and she silenced the Auburn crowd with a 9.925. All the Tide had to do was finish strong on beam, but they raised the bar, having 4 athletes at or above a 9.9. The bright spot for the Tigers was Julianne Hough. The junior won the all-around and led the Tigers on 2 of 4 rotations. The gymnastics community celebrated together as Alabama claims this Iron Bowl. While Auburn falls short in defending their home territory, Alabama defends their number 3 ranking. For Eagle Eye TV, I'm Sophia Weber.
Next up, the team heads to Norman to take on the Oklahoma Sooners. The Tigers will look to bounce back during this meet.
Kevin, I heard you have an update from the Diamond.
Yes, I do, Logan. Let's move a little further west where Auburn faced some top-tier competition this weekend at the Mary Nutter Classic. To open, the Tigers toppled number 14 Oregon in what can be described as a slugfest. Analia Adams opened this one up early in the first inning with a 3-run shot. From there, Auburn and Adams kept the bats hot on their way to a 10-5 win. Mania Womack hit a towering 3-run shot to left field, and Michaela Walker sent a ball flying solo over the wall to add to the home run barrage. Adams would finish the game 3 for 4 with a homer, double, and a career-high 6 RBI. The next game can also be described as a slugfest, but one that went a lot less favorably for Auburn softball against number 9 UCLA. UCLA got on the board in the second inning with 3 runs, which was just an appetizer to an 18-run main course of a third inning for the Bruins. Auburn fell 23-1, but hey, at least the first inning was close. Well, Auburn turned things around against BYU, silencing the Doubters and the Cougars en route to a 10-1 win in only 5 innings. Ella Harrison was stellar on the mound in her 6th win of the season. Harrison let up 4 hits and 1 earned run while striking out 5. Mania Womack's bat found its spark again, delivering a 2-run blast, and redshirt sophomore Kyla Stroud had a pair of hits and RBI to celebrate her birthday. Auburn had split results on day 3 of the Mary Nutter Classic, first falling short to number 21 Washington. Auburn's defense was able to shut down scoring threats early, but the bats of Washington were persistent in producing a run. Washington broke open the game in the second with an RBI triple and sac fly. Auburn did not produce a hit until the 6th inning and struggled to capitalize with runners in scoring position. Did you guys get tired of these high-scoring games? Because the Auburn pitching staff certainly did in this duel against Cal State Fullerton. Auburn's Ella Harrison and Cal's Trish McCleskey combined to allow just 1 hit and 3 walks. The first hit of the game didn't come until the 4th inning when sophomore Kylie Shaw got a leadoff knock. Shaw would then steal second and come all the way home on a single into center from Destiny Rodriguez. Rodriguez added a nice insurance home run in the 6th. She would finish the game 2 for 3, driving in both of Auburn's runs as the Tigers captured a 2-1 win. Well, I should have held my tongue about high-scoring games, as the Tiger offense returned full throttle against Cal Berkeley. The long ball was prevalent in this one, with Auburn launching a program record 6 home runs. Senior Michaela Walker and freshman Haven Roebuck each slugged a pair of dingers, while Mania Womack and Delaney Awumua got in on the fun as well, adding to their productive weekend at the plate. Auburn would go on to win the game 19-5 and add to their 13 total home runs for the tournament. Auburn softball will now look ahead to face Troy at home this Thursday. Good luck to them. Giddy up! The number 1 ranked Auburn equestrian team has returned home on horseback and delivered a strong performance. Topping number 4, SMU 13-17 at Auburn University Equestrian Center. The Tigers were stellar across all 4 phases as they rode to victory. Eagle Eye's Vivian Kennel was at the meet for the top 5 matchup, and she has more from the stables now.
Top-ranked Auburn hosted number 4 SMU this afternoon at the Auburn University Equestrian Center, marking their first home meet of 2026.
Weather pushed the start back an hour, but once competition began, Auburn looked comfortable on its home dirt. Reining opened the meet with tight scores on both sides. Callie Hogue slipped ahead by a fraction in the first ride, and Alexia Tordoff followed with the largest margin of the event, earning most outstanding performing honors. SMU answered with a pair of points, though Auburn kept control thanks to a closing ride from Michelle Fumagalli, giving the Tigers a narrow event win. On the flat, Auburn created distance. Avery Glenn delivered an 80-point ride that stood as the top mark, and the Tigers stacked together enough strong scores to take 4 of 5 points in the event. Holding a multi-point lead halfway through, Auburn turned to horsemanship where Brooke Jolstad delivered a 75-point MOP ride as Alexia Tordoff remained unbeaten, helping the Tigers add another event win. Fences wrapped things up. Kate Haggerty's 85-point ride earned MOP honors and sealed the final gap on the scoreboard.
Auburn closed it out 13-7, a clean result to open its home slate this spring.
Up next, Auburn saddles up on the road to face Georgia in a fierce rivalry battle of 2 of the premier programs in the nation. This matchup is huge in the SEC landscape. Let's hope history repeats itself this time around as Auburn handed the Bulldogs a 14-6 loss in their last meeting. Now, Lydia, I heard you have some women's basketball updates.
Yes, I do, Kevin. The Auburn Tigers took on the Missouri Tigers last Thursday, snapping a 7-game losing streak with a big win in Columbia, 71-58.
Auburn forced 30 turnovers and scored 29 points as a result. Caitlin Doohan led the pack with 19 points, 7 rebounds, and 4 steals.
The Lady Tigers put up 8 3-pointers from behind the arc and showed true offensive grit.
Auburn held a steady defensive game as well, never letting their lead drop below 10 points in the second half.
Coach Larry Vickers had all good things to say. Take a look.
Last few weeks have been a little tough. They've been tough. They've definitely been tough. But we got to remember that this is a team that we've seen success, right? We won our rivalry here, right? Which was also a top 25 game, right? We beat a good Florida team, right? We can win basketball games if we lock in for 2 hours on both ends of the floor, right? 2 hours, both ends of the floor. There's not going to be any possessions we watch on film where we're just simply getting outworked. Right? Regardless, make your minutes count.
Half court, strips the ball.
The Tigers were back inside Neville Arena last night, hosting number 23 Georgia in the Deep South's oldest rivalry.
Auburn kept it competitive early, grabbing an initial lead, hitting a buzzer-beating 3 before the half, and showing offensive life again in the third quarter. But Georgia's momentum eventually took over.
Cotty Lee led the Tigers with 16 points, while Jemiah Harris added 13 of her own. But in the end, the Bulldog offense proved too much as Auburn fell 74-52. Sam Houghton with Eagle Eye TV has the full story from Neville Arena.
Tonight, your Auburn Tigers took on the 23rd ranked Georgia Bulldogs in a packed out Neville Arena. Auburn's coming off a win, Georgia's coming off a loss. Let's see who comes out on top.
It was a back-and-forth start to the game. Caitlin Doohan helped Auburn jump out to a 9-3 lead early. She had 11 on the night. Riley Turcoff responds, though. She did what she did best. She had 16 on the night, along with Danny Carnegie, who had 17, leading Georgia in points for tonight's game. But it was Mia Woolfolk who helped Georgia get on a run. She was unstoppable with 16 points. Auburn wasn't out yet, though, led by Hottie Lay, who led the Tigers in points with 16. A couple big shots from Jemiah Harris helped Auburn stay in it. She had 13 on the night, including a buzzer beater before half. You may not have seen it, but she made it. But after halftime, it was all Georgia, powered by Carnegie and Woolfolk. Auburn's kryptonite for this game would be turnovers. They had 17 turnovers and shot 4 for 18 from the 3 line. Auburn kept fighting though, but they simply could not keep up with the Georgia Bulldogs.
Auburn's efforts weren't enough against Georgia tonight as they fell 74-52. Let's see if Auburn can bounce back against Kentucky.
For Eagle Eye TV, I'm Sam Halton.
Looking ahead, the Lady Tigers take on the number 16 Kentucky Wildcats at home this Thursday. We are hoping for a bounce-back game for the Lady Tigers.
Kevin, am I seeing doubles, or do you have a tennis update for us?
No, you're not, Logan. Time to go back to the court for some Lady Tigers tennis. Number 13 Auburn picked up a big SEC road win, beating the Florida Gators 5-2 in Gainesville. The Tigers grabbed the coveted doubles point early and closed it out, winning 3 of the final singles sets to win the match. With the victory, Auburn improves to 16-1 overall and 1-0 in the SEC. It marks just the 5th win over Florida in program history. Coming off that huge win against Florida, number 13 Auburn is set for a big-time SEC clash against Oklahoma this weekend. The Tigers have been dominant all season, but this one feels like a postseason matchup against a very deep and talented Sooner squad. Auburn is looking to make another statement with a win this weekend. Now, finally onto the pitch, where Auburn's women's soccer will open their spring campaign with a pair of matches in the Rocket City Spring Shootout in Huntsville this weekend. The Tigers are building off a competitive fall season and looking to earn their stripes in the SEC landscape. Well, that's all for me tonight. I'll kick it back over to the desk now for some trivia.
Thanks, Kevin. Always great to hear from you. For our last trivia question of the night, we want to test your knowledge of the new soccer recruits. Auburn Soccer just added Sienna Waring to their roster. Where is she from? Is it A, Australia, B, England, C, Canada, or D, Germany? No Googling. We'll have the answer when we come back, along with Trending Tigers.
My parents weren't fluent in English, so in school I had to be independent and take initiative, and that's how I handle every project I get.
Hey Kevin, you thinking about retirement?
I'd love to, but I'm pretty busy with all this.
Yeah, hey, let's meet our retirement coach, Avo. A is for taking action.
Not anxiety?
No, Kevin, you're gonna be fine.
You sing?
Barely. V is for variety.
And you dance?
Sort of. Come on. O is for optimize your savings.
Let Avo lead the way.
Visit aceyourretirement.org today.
Nice.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My parents weren't fluent in English, so in school I had to be independent and take initiative, and that's how I handle every project I get.
And we're back. Before the commercial, we asked you another trivia question. To jog your memory, Auburn Soccer just added Sienna Waring to their roster. Where is she from? Is it A, Australia, B, England, C, Canada, or D, Germany? If you guessed B, England, you would be correct. From across the pond, welcome to Auburn, Sienna. We're excited to see what you can do on the pitch.
Now it's time to talk all things Trending Tigers. I know today is Tuesday, but get hyped for Hump Day at Plainsman Park tomorrow. The baseball team will bring a camel to the Wednesday game. Loretta the camel will show face, and I know I'm so excited to see her in person.
I know that is going to be great. In other news, Christy Coventry made waves. She opened the 2026 Olympic Winter Games as president of the International Olympic Committee. She is a 7-time Olympic medalist and the first woman to lead the IOC ever. Wow, the Auburn family never ceases to amaze me.
Me neither. Finally, one of the Auburn family's strongest members got an amazing surprise. Here's a short video on this heartfelt moment that shows just what it really means to be an Auburn Tiger. Take a listen.
Being in Auburn has been good for Greer. She thinks Aubie lives at her game day house. The neighborhood has been sweet. The school has been sweet. It's everything that we thought it would be and more.
We've had basketball. That is what's been fun and getting us through, right, Greer? Greer.
Greer!
Look who it is.
Oh my God! Greer! Who's here?
Who is that? And
hey guys!
I think they have a special letter for you.
Oh my
Look
goodness.
who it's from.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness. Who does that say? Is that from Aubie? No way.
Greer, I can't wait to see you again. We will have so much fun at a basketball.
Ever. Super sweet. Well, that's all we have in store today. For more Sports Night in Auburn and Eagle Eye Sports, follow our Instagram and Twitter pages. Make sure to subscribe right here on YouTube and tune in every single week. Until next week, I'm Lydia Wellborn.
For all of us here in the studio, Kevin and Hayden and everyone behind the camera, our producers are Sophia Weber and Madison Seidel. I'm Logan Carr. This has been Sports Night in Auburn. Good night and
War Eagle.
Yo, that sounded so